She was never scared to spread her wings in an industry that rejected women. Jane Trembath was among the first female captains for South African Airways. When she succeeded, she developed a program to train a lot more female pilots. This is Captain Jane Trembath, a pioneer in the aviation industry. Under Jane's command, thousands of people have safely reached their destinations around the world.
When I go to countries like China, for example, and the women who work at the airports, when they see me and they react, they almost can't believe that I'm doing it.
Jane is one of South Africa's first female pilots.
My mother and father really not that conventional in their thinking, and one thing I never ever heard in my household was, you can't do that because you're a girl. So I never grew up thinking of any limitations because I was a woman.
An afternoon of fun with her family in 1982 triggered Jane's interest in flying.
But when I was 16, I went in a light aircraft for the first time, and it was just so exciting. I just knew I had to be a pilot.
It sounded ridiculous.
I was going into my matric year then, and when I told the girls at school that I was planning to be a pilot, well, they all thought it was absolutely hilarious.
After school, Jane was ready to take up flying lessons. But she first had to overcome a major obstacle.
I got my commercial pilot's license first in Cape Town, and I had to do that privately because back then the women couldn't join the Air Force and there were no cadet programs.
Jane looked beyond our borders for employment opportunities. South African Airways wasn't taking pilots at the time.
After I got my commercial pilot's license, I got another job with a small airline in Namibia, and I was flying small planes to gain experience. And then I only applied to SAA in 1987.
But being a woman was again getting in the way of her dream.
No, I applied. The other guys who I knew who were flying with me, they said, "Oh, like, you're wasting your time, SAA will never take women."
She never gave up and finally managed to convince SAA bosses of her worth. She has been flying ever since, breaking boundaries in the industry. Jane became a captain in later years.
When I became captain for the first time, it was more a feeling of understanding the awesome responsibility that I had on my shoulders. And having to focus now, I didn't focus on the feeling of it, I just focused on doing the job.
In 2001, SAA's very first all-female crew flew a Boeing from Johannesburg to Port Elizabeth and back under Jane's command. But one particular moment still stands out for Jane.
For me, the coolest was when I flew the 747-400. I was the first woman in South Africa qualified to fly that one. I flew it as a co-pilot. And I used to get so excited when I actually went to flight, especially when we were going to New York.
Jane wanted to empower other female pilots. She was determined they should not have to go through what she went through. In 2002, she developed the SAA Pilots Association membership program, paving the way for women in aviation.
So when you join the airline, it's almost like having a big sister or big brother in the airline. They take you in, they introduce you to airline culture, they help groom you to be a better pilot, to overcome the challenges that face you. So she has contributed to others in the airline as well, making their lives a lot better.
Fascinating stuff. Remember, we always love hearing from you against all odds at enca.com. You can also be in touch with us on Twitter and Facebook. Well, that's it for now. Join us again next time as we explore the lives of those who believe in possibilities. My name is Mphola Gaje. Cheers.